Hey everyone. Hey folks. Happy Saturday. We're going to start in a couple minutes, so if you want to make your ways to the chairs, that works. There's 2 doors on the end here. So yeah, if you're struggling to get through the chairs, there's some doors on the sides. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Poetry Center. Thank you so much for being here and spending a little bit of time with us, especially on a Saturday. Thank you so much. My name is Paola Valenzuela. I work here at the Poetry Center as the Event and Development Coordinator, and I'm so excited for this concert. Seeing everybody here today, our Saturdays are kind of like quiet, so it's just like nice to see so many people here at the center. Yeah, it's already made my weekend better, and I hope that this event makes your weekend better. So yeah. And then before we begin, I just wanted to let everybody know that the bathrooms are on the other side of this wall to my right. There's a water fountain there if anyone needs it. And then folks probably saw this as y'all were coming in, but there is 2 tables in the back with some folks that are going to tell us a little bit about their organizations today. But if after the event you have any questions or you want to ask questions, yeah, you'll find them back there. But yeah, once again, thank you for being here. You're in for some amazing music. I'm really excited. I hope you are too. And before we begin, I'm just going to have Sarah and Alton just come up here and say a couple words. So yeah, thank you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Hi, I'm Sarah Reisman. I'm president of the TEVA community, president of the board of the TEVA community. We have a beautiful 35-acre property in Prescott, Arizona, and we are developing a retreat center, a education center, and eventually a residence for non-speaking autistic individuals who all communicate by spelling and typing. And this is my son, Jake, and kind of the reason I started it. And I want to introduce Alton Grubbs. He is a member of our board, and he can explain TEVA a lot better than anybody else.
Okay, he said, I am so proud to share what I love about the mission of TEVA and why I'm so proud to be on its board. TEVA events are focused on elevating the voices of non-speakers like myself. The community plans events with the sole focus on non-speakers, so much so that several non-speakers make key decisions on how we can best be supported. This makes TEVA so special and unique. While we are fundraising, we have not stopped or moved our gaze away from our main goal. TEVA sponsors events around Arizona and also in the beauty of Pitt Prescott's Forest. It is the future of TEVA, and for those of us fortunate enough to have gone there, we can visualize the tranquil living in the harmony and emergence of mutuality with nature. It is perfect and hopeful, which is what you will hear from my dearest, most intelligent, kindest friends today. Thank you for coming.
We cannot do this alone, and luckily we have local groups of spellers around Arizona, and I wanted to introduce Courtney, who is president of the Tucson Spellers Group.
Hello, I'm Courtney, and I'm the president of Tucson Spellers. We're a local nonprofit here in southern Arizona that tries to reach all non-speakers, minimally speakers, and unreliable speakers here in southern Arizona. We have three main missions, three main things we try to do. Creating community, and we do that with events like this, and clubs, and meetups. We also do financial aid, so if you're looking to spell but money is an issue, come and talk to us. And we have a lending library for boards. And then last, we are doing outreach. We always want to let people know about spelling and bring more people in. We did an amazing Building Bridges Apraxia conference, and we sponsored a brand new S2C practitioner here in Tucson. Jade is here somewhere, but that way we have more people to teach spelling. So that is Tucson Spellers. Thank you.
All right, and one more thank you to the U of A Poetry Center. This is an amazing space. A little extra special for me. I left Tucson over 35 years ago, but this is where I'm from, and this is my alma mater, so it's just kind of extra special to have this here, which this did not exist when I went to school. I now want to introduce, where is Brian? Oh, there we go. The reason we are all here, Brian Laidlaw, he is the co-founder of Unrestricted Interest. He is a poet and a songwriter, and he has been working, this is the 4th annual songwriting workshop that he has come and worked with the non-speakers to create lyrics, and then he immediately sets them to music, and it's just magic. Again, I will have Jake say what he has to say about this. The true regulator in my world is music. It helps me connect to the world. Thankful is an understatement. So welcome, Brian Laidlaw.
All right, what a treat. I suspect that most folks here are familiar with spelling as a form of communication, but just in case there are any folks who have happened upon us without knowing what the heck is going on, just to give a little background, I've been working with spellers for about 10 years. My background is in creative writing, studied poetry throughout undergrad, master's, PhD, and started working with the autistic community about a decade ago. And these are just such amazing writers that I get to collaborate with, many of the folks who are here today, and then an incredibly rich community of writers across the country. But when we're doing these songs, everything I'm going to share, I want to make it really clear that these are written completely by the non-speakers that I work with. I'm not writing any of the lyrics. I'm giving suggestions of like maybe where some rhymes could go, giving some instruction about like how songs are constructed and what makes a song work. And then, but really all of the text is completely composed by the spellers. They're making the choices about what rhyme words they're going to use. They're making the choices about, what the topics and themes are going to be. And then once we have the lyrics, they give me music direction, explain either in terms of like, a sound alike, oh, can you make it sound like Bruce Springsteen or Taylor Swift or whatever, or descriptive words, can you make it like fast, or can you make it mournful, or can you make it exciting or whatever? Sometimes I get very poetic ones. One of my very favorites of all time actually is from Alton. He said, "Can you make it sound like a moose covered in frost?" And that was such a good music direction. But anyway, the songs that I'll share here are a mixture of ones, some written at previous Teva camps up in Prescott with spellers who live here in Arizona, and then some are from a compilation album that we put out that we were celebrating the last time I was here, called Silently Loud. That was funded by the Minnesota State Arts Board, and it's a full band record of songs also written by spellers, and then closing with a couple new ones by some other friends in the mix. But we'll start with this first song. This was written at one of the camps. It's called Silent News, and it's by Ashton. It's your time to listen to us. It's your time to trust our words. It's your time to believe our dreams. Listen up to the silent news of joy. It's my time to be me. It's my time to break the silence, to change the hearts of non-believers. Listen up to the silent news of joy. It's our time to make lasting friends, time to shatter the misconception, time to mold a kinder world. Listen up to the silent news of joy. It's our time, it's your time, it's my time. Listen up to the silent news of joy. It's your time, it's my time, it's my time. Listen up to the silent news of joy. Thanks, Ashton. All right. This song is by Ethan, also from one of our songwriting camps. And this is called With My Friends in the Clouds. Dear friends, you make me want to be a better version of myself. Dear friends, you fill my heart with loving wealth, soaring all together, free to be ourselves. Dear friends, I feel the warmth of your love in my life. Dear friends, now I have no more strife, soaring all together, free to be ourselves. Dear friends, let's change the world to actually share our love. Dear friends, fly high with me and let's rise above, soaring all together, free to be ourselves, soaring all together with my friends in the clouds. One of the pleasures of collaborating in this way with spellers is that, as we're writing, I'm often doing these collaborations over Zoom. Sometimes it's in person. The spellers are working with a communication partner who's saying the words out loud as the speller is pointed to them on the board. And there's this amazing sense of anticipation that I get to feel while I'm watching the songs happen, because I don't know what's about to happen, And this one I remember, we'd sort of established what the chorus is, soaring all together, free to be ourselves, so nice. And then in that last chorus, Ethan was spelling soaring all together, and I was expecting it to say free to be ourselves again, because that was like the pattern we were in. And then he said, with my friends in the clouds. And that was the first time we had that phrase show up. It was so nice. Oh, so good. Soaring all together with my friends in the clouds. Don't mind if I do. Cool too, I think I've been doing this work for a long time, and I think it's an interesting learning journey to have started out, and I came into the work as a poet and having a background as a touring singer-songwriter, but I hadn't studied autism, right? I wasn't like an autism support professional or whatever, and I think that I must admit that I was guilty of having some of the preconceptions that were quite prevalent at that time about autistic people being isolated or not social or not, whatever, just sort of in their own mind. And I think probably I've learned so much from working with, at this point, hundreds of spellers over the years, but the way that these folks relate to their community, you guys are such good friends to one another. And one of the commonest topics that comes up in the songs is the feeling of connection and of friendship. Just totally disproved the idea that there's any sense of not being able to empathize. These are the most empathetic people in the whole world. So here's another song about friends. This is by Nico, and this was fun music direction on this one. They understand me. They listen with no questions. They find peace with no ends. Nothing's more important than my friends. And I see it when they struggle. I feel their pain. I want their hearts to mend. Nothing's more important than my friends. We are out to change minds. We are out to change hearts. We are about to ascend. Nothing's more important than my friends. Nothing's more important than my friends. So nice. So true. All right, this song is called Forest and Me. This is by Jake, who was up here earlier. Where'd Jake go? Jake, yeah. Yeah, hi, what's up? Sorry. This was from a previous songwriting camp. It's called Forest and Me. Looking at the trees all growing ever so tall, and the trees more clear with each footfall, and the birds so light and resounding in their calls. How I am growth like the forest, how I am guiding like the trails, how I'm a voice like bird song, how I'm a leader, how I prevail. The trees reach from shadows to embrace the sky. On the trail so long we can reach vistas so high, where the birds so free sing as they fly. How I am growth like the forest, how I'm guiding like the trails, how I'm a voice like bird song, how I'm a leader, how I prevail, how I'm a voice like bird song, how I'm a leader, how I prevail. Thanks, Jake. Ah, so good. All right. This is by another longtime friend, Joshua. And another great song about friendship with kind of different twist on this one. I love my friends, think they help how I feel. They intend to help, really hope for the best for me. But here's the thing, I know to be everyone needs friends, even me, especially me. I love my friends, they don't judge or treat me bad. I want them to feel loved and to always be glad. And here's the thing, I know it's true, everyone needs friends, even you, especially you. And here's the thing, I know to be everyone needs friends, even me, especially me. Oh. So good. Everyone, but especially everyone. All right, this is a new one by Alton. We wrote this just last week on a Zoom session. I think one of the perpetual pleasures of working, really of any collaboration, but of working with spellers in particular, is this mix of like, of course you can hear all these songs, on the one hand, they're about things that all songs are about. They're not that different, it's like about friendship and nature and connection and expressing yourself, and this is a love song, the best topic for songs. And then it's also so sweet to hear like the slightly different perspectives and different takes that these writers have on topics that we've certainly heard many songs about before. And this one really stood out to me. Alton, I think this is an amazing tune that's really about contrasts, the sort of the ambivalence of the feeling of love, how it's like both soft and hard and both like enlivening and like overwhelming, like almost like frightening. Anyway, it's called Love is More Than a Feeling. Delicate notions float heavily, feelings so intense. Love crumbles like a dry pedal. It's somehow feathers and metal. It's more than a feeling. It leaves you perfectly reeling. And love is more than a weight. It makes pillows seem gigantic, kinda suffocating, yet it is breath. Romeo took love away by his death, and it's more than a feeling. It leaves you perfectly reeling. Love is a rose. It has roots, leaves, flowers, and thorns. They pile pain in your skin. Love is pure and it's a sin, and it's more than a feeling. It leaves you perfectly reeling. You're an image and a mirage. You play hide and seek with emotion. I pursue with devotion. And it's more than a feeling. It leaves you perfectly reeling. It's more than a feeling. It leaves you perfectly reeling. So true. So true, Alton. Thank you. All right. This is a song by Jacob. And Jacob was at our songwriting workshop last night. He's not here today, I believe. But he's another amazing speller that I've been working with for a long time. He is not strictly a non-speaker. He's an unreliable speaker. And again, for those of you who don't know, this is like another thing that I didn't quite understand before I started doing this work. But some autistic speaker folks can produce language, they can talk, but it's not always actually what they intend. It's kind of like automatic speaking, or it can be repetitive loops. Sometimes it's deliberate and it is what they mean, but sometimes it's kind of just a physical pattern that's not consistent with what they actually are wanting to say. And Jacob is an unreliable speaker in that sometimes he says what he wants and sometimes he says something but then needs to clarify, that's not actually what I mean, and spells it out on the letterboard. But I say all of that because he's also able to sing. And so this is a song that he recently performed himself singing at a talent show. I pre-recorded the guitar for him, but he's working on the guitar too, actually. But this is called Never Give Up, and certainly he's a guy who never gives up. This is an amazing tune. Actually, we're gonna go up here. I see the dream in my mind. I have hope for the future. I set goals of every kind. And I wake up every day. I won't stop till finished. I work hard with no play. And small changes bring growth. Stick to the plan. Never give up. In victory you'll stand. The total despair threatens my head. I hope I can reach the dream up ahead. And for months I have strived only seeing small change. I wanna accomplish all I've tried. Small changes bring growth. Stick to the plan. Never give up. In victory you'll stand. And I want independence. Wanna be my own man. I wanna be married and have a family of my own. I wanna learn new things. Wanna have friends all around me. Wanna drive by myself to places unknown. As small changes bring growth. Stick to the plan. Never give up. In victory you'll stand. Never give up. In victory you'll stand. All right, man.
Was there like a theme?
Thanks for asking. When I'm first working with folks, sometimes I'll give prompts, but this is an interesting thing. Like, I feel like it's my responsibility to step out of the way as much as possible. So like most of these songs didn't have prompts. And there's a risk, I realized when I first started working with spellers, like I have preconceptions about what songs are like supposed to be about. And so even just by giving a prompt, I risk making our product like more neurotypical, basically, which is like what I want to avoid. Never want to put any kind of like my blinders on accidentally. So the vast majority of the time, especially with the folks that I've been working with for a long time, we just start the session and I say like, what do you feel like writing about today? What's been on your mind? Sometimes we do sort of like, it's kind of like, I think of it as being the equivalent of like a body scan. In a yoga class, you like do a body scan and feel where you might be holding tension or where you might be, feeling a little nervousness or feeling a little excitement in your body. And I ask a lot of these collaborators to do a similar thing, like in their mind, like in their consciousness, sort of scan recent memories, long-term memories, scan the future, what we're looking forward to, and similarly looking for like knots, like KNOTS, like knots of like anticipation or a little bit of discomfort or a little bit of curiosity or whatever it might be, and then just kind of follow that toward an image or toward a phrase, and then build our song from there. But it's really, really, really student directed, and that feels super important for me, and also super important to articulate. Just like shine the light back on these writers. They're doing it on their own. Is Grace here? Do we have Grace? Not sure. This was also written at one of our songwriting camps. I think this is one of my favorite. I love the turn of phrase. This is called Stalking Straight Line, STALKING, and it's a railroad song, but it's not your typical railroad song. I think this one slaps. So this is by Grace. I love the way they sound, rolling out of town. I feel the stalking of the straight line on the train line. I see the sky moving by. The train seems to fly. I feel the stalking of the straight line on the train line. I see the trains outside. I know to ride. I hear the machine moving, riding up a mountain. The next stop, all right. It's a long ride tonight, living free. Come on and ride with me. I feel the stalking of the straight line on the train line. I feel the machine moving, riding up a mountain. I hear the machine, moving, riding up a mountain. Awesome. I think in my, this is like a big part of my creative life is collaborating with spellers, and then I also am a touring singer-songwriter, writing my own work and playing with a band and putting out records of my own and whatever. And I'm always trying to find in my own work phrases, like turns of phrase that where the meaning is immediately understandable, but also that people haven't heard before. And it's kind of riding this line between like cliche, but then with just the tiniest little twist or something. That's what makes a great song, I think, is something that's like familiar and unfamiliar at the same time. And the stalking of the straight line is like exactly that. You know exactly what it means. It's so stalking. But what? Like, you never would have thought to write it like that. So good. All right, this one's by Beth, Destiny Engage. This is another one from one of our songwriting camps. An opportunity for me to channel my inner pop diva. Thank goodness. This is called Destiny Engage. Another great turn of phrase. You know exactly what we mean. Destiny engage, eager to need someone. Destiny engage, happy to be the one. It's my time, it's my destiny. Destiny engage, eager to. Destiny engage, eager to depend on you. It's my time, it's my destiny. Destiny engage, eager to have someone. Destiny engage, to make into my bright sun. It's my time, it's my destiny. 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 Nice. That's Beth. Yeah. Cool. So I'll sing a few songs now from the compilation I mentioned, Silently Loud. And I got a chance to record these with a great producer up in Minneapolis, full band. We had, a bunch of instrumentalists. We're in an awesome studio, so the thing sounds great. I have a few copies on CD. Nobody really has a way to play a CD anymore even, but they're kind of quaint. Satisfying shiny circle. But this is also available like on Spotify and iTunes and everything. Silently Loud, it's called. And this is called Being on My Trampoline. Wrote this with a writer named Christopher. And he's autistic and also blind. And interesting to realize how much songwriting tends to privilege sight. We talk about, there's great imagery in that song, and we're always referring to visual imagery, but it was cool to put this song together really focusing on sound instead of sight. And it also just absolutely slaps. It's called Being on My Trampoline. So it's a little kinesthetic too. Staying on the ground, it's alright, but I've been doing it every day and every night. In the air, where I'm going. When I hear the trampoline go boing, boing, boing. Trampoline. Don't you understand what I mean? I'm just a human being jumping on my trampoline. Up in the air is where I belong. I hear the trampoline play a jumping song. That's the song I hear it sing. When I move my feet to the spring, 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 yeah, the spring on the trampoline. Don't you understand what I mean? I'm just a human being, oh, jumping on my trampoline. And now I'm flying through the sky. I touch the little birds as they pass me by. This is where I reach my peak. When I hear the trampoline giving a squeak, 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 giving a squeak on the trampoline. And don't you understand what I mean? I'm just a human being, oh, jumping on my trampoline. Don't you understand what I mean? I'm just a human being, oh, jumping on my trampoline. All right. This next one is also from that compilation. This is called Truth Seeker, and it's by Iman. She's a vibe and a half. I love. This is a great example too of just kind of a different way to use language. Totally understandable, totally followable, and also just such a unique sort of grammar here. People call me a stargazer, stargazer, yes. But really I'm a truth fighter, yes. People call me a stargazer. So close your eyes, dreaming big trusts. Free in your mind, healing takes time. Think mostly I'm redefining hope to move farther, yes. In fact, I'm a truth seeker, yes. Striving to dream bigger. And close your eyes, dreaming big trusts. Free in your mind, healing takes time. All truth is troubles, make me wiser, yes. I'm a stargazer, truth messer, yes. Tormented by non-believers. Healing treasures, mostly failures. Healing feelings, tosses treasures. Dreaming beyond failure. Close your eyes, dreaming big trusts. Free in your mind, healing takes time. Close your eyes, dreaming big trusts. Free in your mind, healing takes time. Oh. Such a simple thing to having trusts be plural. Big, instead of healing big trusts, multiple trusts. Come on, so good, love it. This is by Joel, also from the compilation. I think I played this one last time that I was here, but it's worth hearing again. This is called Rocket Saturn V, and it's about the moon landing. Lots of good little facts about the moon landing here. He had recently read a book about the moon landing. Velcro, dried ice cream, and dehydrated meat. Pens that work in zero gravity. All inventions for moon adventures. They had inventions, but no guarantee that man would survive liftoff in Australia. Honeysuckle Creek was ready for TV transmission when Armstrong stepped on the moon. They were first to see. Crash, boom, crash, boom, crash, boom, crash, boom. Rocket Saturn V, you are doomed. Well, evidence is tricky. Rocks, meteorites, and rubbish on the moon. That's all we have, a flag and stories and shrunken hearts or tales too. But we say the US was first on the moon, but actually it was a world effort that made it. But back then computers were slow, and anyway, speed is overrated. Crash, boom, crash, boom, crash, boom, crash, boom. Rocket Saturn V, you are doomed. Blackness like nothing on Earth. Extremes are the norm in space. Extremes. Hot, cold, slow, fast. We get old in space while they pursue the world's dream. In cramped, cold, tight quarters. Will I do them? I can't make up my mind. Hours of airless, agonizing training. All for one step for mankind. Crash, boom, crash, boom, crash, boom, crash, boom. Rocket Saturn V, you are doomed. Crash, boom, crash, boom, crash, boom, crash, boom. Rocket Saturn V, you are doomed. So good. Just got a couple more songs here, and then we'll make way for the Q&A session. So we can hear from some of the folks who created some of these tunes. Yeah, let's do this one. There's one tiny detail in the last verse of this song that sometimes makes me cry. Maybe today I will, maybe today I won't. This is called Wildfires. This is by Wyatt. Like headlights shining in the dark, the way a fire can't start without a spark. I'm damn sure I can make a light. Cut out this darkness with a knife. I am cutting. Oh, 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 oh. So many nights I laid awake, listening to the sound of my own heart's ache, worrying this can't be all there is, praying for a way out of all of this. I was praying. Oh, 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 oh. Now my heart sings, I am free, a song that echoes on the breeze. I have a fire burning in my soul. I have a bomb life now, giving up the old. I have a bomb life now, giving up the old. I have a bomb life now. Burn so fearlessly with goddamn hope. Rid yourself of these weights and ropes. burn like a wildfire out of control. Then rise from your ashes with new growth. I am burning. Oh, 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 oh. I am burning. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, that was one of my favorite collaboration moments. The pattern that Wyatt was working with is the last two lines of each verse go, cut out this darkness with a knife, I am cutting. So we say the verb and then we have cutting, praying for a way out of all of this. I was praying. And then that last one, rise from your ashes with new growth. And you would think that it would be I am rising to follow the pattern, and instead he wrote I am burning. Not rising yet. All right. I think I'll close with this one. This is called Tides of Change, and it's by a group of 5 spellers called the Band of Brothers, national supergroup spanning from coast to coast. And I just recorded an album of their songs that's going to be up, I think literally like tomorrow. It goes live on Spotify and everything. And it's called Constellation. And they were getting together over Zoom for the last 6 or 8 months, meeting every couple weeks, writing a bunch of tunes. And this is called Tides of Change, and it feels like a nice note to end on, and then I'll hand it over for the Q&A. So once again, thank you guys so much for listening. Thanks to Teva for making this happen, and Arizona Poetry Center. It's just such an amazing place. And want to say again too, it feels important for me to mention that in a perfect world, oddly enough, I would not be here at all, and it would just be the spellers themselves getting to share their work directly. So I feel obviously very blessed to get to be an intermediary in that process, but also really want to make sure to be shining the light back on the writers themselves. It's not about me. It's like a fluke of circumstance that I'm up here singing the songs, but really it's their work. They're the people who deserve to be celebrated. There are a bunch of awesome writers here with us today. I encourage you to say hello, chat with them after the event wraps up. If you have a question for them, you could ask. And if you have a compliment, I bet they would receive it real graciously. So yeah, thank you all. And the biggest thank you of all goes to the spellers. You guys, thank you for trusting me with your words and letting me share them here. It's really the great blessing of my life to get to work with you all. So thanks for being here. This is Tides of Change by the Band of Brothers to close us out for the day. Love how the moon pleasingly is pulling on the loving sea. I need that balm of the tide to wash away what's in my mind. 'Cause everything comes in waves, the tides of change. Each of us longs to be saved. Carry us away on rolling waves. Leave your shell on the shore. You needn't carry it anymore. 'Cause everything comes in waves, the tides of change. Waves are shearing in the sea. Waves are shearing inside of me. Shallow waves and deepest dives, believing in all that thrives. And everything comes in waves, the tides of change. Every
everything comes in waves, the tides of change.
Thank you so much, and let's have an extra round of applause for the spellers too for writing these awesome tunes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And with that, I'll hand it over to Mike.
Perfect. Okay, so we got some index cards here. You guys can write down your questions, or you can just shout them out. We did a little pre-planned Q&A. So these questions and answers are right from the speller's fingertips, right? So Brian explained some of this. I think the songs explain a lot of it as well. But the first question they asked the spellers was, tell us a little bit about yourself as an artist. And Joshua answered this. Joshua's here, walking in the back there. He says, I hope to help other non-speakers' depression how I helped mine, by writing poetry. My kind friends need help getting hard memories out of their heads. I'm so proud of myself for never giving up hope, forgetting my voice. Now I want to help my friends who are locked inside. Sorry, I shouldn't do a lot of commentary, but I just have to say Joshua has done that for a number of people as one of the first spellers in the state of Arizona, including my son Alton, introducing us to spelling. So here's Alton. He says, I have grown as an artist over the last few years. I'm aware more of my sensory system and recognize that writing heals my soul and helps sort out deep emotions, especially as I grapple with the energy of politics. Being an artist means I have a way to connect my emotions to others. I hope to spread loving light to others. Ethan, who is also here with us. Ethan, I see you. He says, I'm so excited to be considered an artist. I am new to art, but so far I love it. My interests lie mostly in the realm of creative writing, such as poetry and songwriting. We got to hear one of those songs today, Ethan. That was fantastic. Nico, another artist who is here with us, he says, as an artist, I see value in the small, understated details. I think that definitely shone through in a lot of the songs that Brian sang today. Jake says, I use what experiences I have seen or things that have impacted me. That's fantastic, Jake. And Ashton's here as well. He says, I am a non-speaking 26-year-old man who loves songs and poetry. You can see most of these songwriters, they write the lyrics for the songs, and they also write poetry as well with Brian and others. The next question they asked the spellers are, what are the main sources of inspiration for your poems/songs? Little common theme here, you'll see. Alton says, I am inspired most by nature. All things living and past living are connected. Senses are extremely important to my writing, even if they aren't included explicitly. And Joshua says, one of my inspirations is nature. Open your eyes. It will fill your inner thoughts. It doesn't take too much lasting images, just impressions of sound, images, smells, feelings on skin. It is pure time for imagination. Light in trees releasing, greetings to a weed, wind trying to whisper your name. Very, very beautiful, Joshua. Ashton, common theme again, about nature. And Ethan says, I find inspiration everywhere. It shows itself in the unspoken world that surrounds all of us, in the nature of the desert, in the depths of human emotion, and in every part of the world that goes unnoticed. I went unnoticed for a long time. Having empathy lends itself nicely to finding inspiration in the small things. Jake says, my inspiration comes from things I've learned. And Nico says, language is more than the spoken word. Connections through art and music strengthen bonds in more meaningful ways. There's an interesting question that they asked the non-speaking spellers. It says, what do you like most about being autistic? It's kind of flipped the script there. Joshua says, how hard is my body to control, but I love synesthesia. I see colors in hearing music. I hear in my head sounds with numbers. Ashton says, my special abilities. Ethan says, my sensitivity is trouble at times, but it's also a gift. The senses of an autistic individual like myself are unique, to say the least. Having the intense sense of others is my autistic superpower. Jake says, proving to everyone that I'm more capable than what people think when they see me. And Alton says, I think that being autistic has given me eyes to perceive the world in a special way. I understand my place in connection with nature. I think this gives me wonderful gratefulness for every element I encounter. For example, I appreciate bees, beetles, gophers, and jaguars as important creatures with a purpose, not so unaligned with mine. I also understand that my relationship with plants is so unique and almost sacred. I know many autistics feel the same. I love and value my conversations with my spelling friends. Being autistic is a blessing if you choose to see it that way. Goodness is founded in gratefulness. The next question that they asked the spellers was, how long have you been able to communicate by spelling? Joshua said, I started RPM, which stands for Rapid Prompting Method, when I was 13. I loved it, but I felt I needed physical support to fill my body in space. My mom pushes against my wrist or forearm. That was when I was 18. I'm 23 now. I pity my time free of spelling. Wish I did it just all my life. Alton says, I have been spelling for almost 9 years. My progress is slower than most, but it is the most important thing I have ever tried. It primarily gave me a life. Ethan says, I have been spelling for 2 years, 2 whole years openly. And Ashton says 1.5 years. So we've got some new spellers here as well. Did you try other methods of communication is the next question. Ashton says, yes, sign language and PECS cards and AAC devices. Joshua said, yes, just about everything. I used to try to use toys that talk, kind of trying to join the conversation. Mom thought it was a coincidence. I wanted to reach her. It was so hard. PECS was impossible, requests only. Sign language was too hard for my apraxic body. The AAC device was too slow and too difficult to remember pathways, and it didn't have the words I wanted. I use YouTube videos to tell people the things I want or feel. I've done that for many years, and my mom finally understood. Spelling is the best by far for me. Alton says, I tried so many things. Nothing is even close to spelling. Common theme here as well. Ethan says, I tried it all. Nothing really worked to help me truly get my thoughts out. New methods like letterboards help me so much more. And Jake says, yes, but I think this way of communication helps me bring out my voice. Next question they asked is, what is the most important thing that you want neurotypical people to know about non-speaking or autistic people? It says, I think it is important to remember that we are intelligent and we understand everything. We feel the same feelings in the inside. We just might not look like it because our bodies are hard to control. And Alton says, I firmly desire everyone must value individuals regardless of disability, gender, identity, race, or anything that makes a person unique. I want reverence for all lives. I, like all autistics, have individual interests, opinions, talents, gorgeous perspective, and influence. I have wonderful relationships. I don't appreciate when many assume I can control my whole body. My brain is intense, but often impulse overruns it. Please don't underestimate anyone, ever. Jake says, I just want people to be aware of how people talk to me and others because some people act like I don't understand them or talk like I'm not here. The majority of what people talk about on the news is garbage. When you begin to work in the world of non-speaking autism, you are told we are all profoundly intellectually disabled and will never amount to anything. This is a load of crap, LOL. I'm censoring myself for better social media use. The truth is, autism has nothing to do with intelligence and everything to do with motor. Ashton, definitely that we are smart. And Ethan says, a piece of my heart heals every time I get to answer this question. I want people to know that non-speakers are the toughest yet most sensitive people in the world. Having no spoken words doesn't mean that we aren't in here. Long years of just listening have made us more intelligent than you might expect. And finally, the last question, pre-planned, was, what was it like before you could communicate? And Alton says, to be honest, it was not good. I was loved by only a few people because others thought I was so dumb that I would not care about their lack of concern for me. I had a lot of medical problems, and Mom, Dad, and Lila tore their hearts out for me. Elodie had not been born yet. That's his sister, other sister. But no one else cared. It seemed like people thought my misery didn't count because they thought I didn't think. I did think. That's all I did. I taught myself math while I sat in a classroom being ignored. I taught myself to spell. I learned patience, strength, and empathy for those I watched suffer, especially the kids in my classroom who didn't even have a Nikki, Mike, and Lila. Now my heart has healed. I learn all that I can. I work so hard and contribute to society. I am involved in my medical care. I have faith in myself like I never had before. I have plans for college and a meaningful, loving career. My life is so different than I had even hoped. I want every non-speaker to find a way to share their lives. Jake says, it made me frustrated and sad. And then, how is it now? What isn't magical about freeing your mind? Quite a magical sharing your thoughts and love with the world. Every time I spell, there is order in a disorderly world and life. And Ashton sums it up here. He just says, miserable. Ethan, not being able to communicate was like having a cage around my soul. So that's all for the pre-planned Q&A. We've got some note cards here.
If anyone wants another question, just raise your hand and I'll go to you.
All right, guys, spellers, you ready for this one? What advice do you have for therapists who work with your body? So what advice do you have for therapists who work with your body? Can this mic walk around, or is it better here? All right, I see Ashton's spelling, Alton's spelling, Ethan's spelling, Nico's spelling. We got a few answers here.
Alton says, talk to us and explain everything.
Nico's got an answer way back in the back there. All right, let's hear it.
Relax.
Relax.
Us, yeah.
It's a good advice. Good 80s song. Does Jake have an answer? Nope. Ashton? Nope. Okay. We're good. The next one, I think Brian might have to help with this one as well. Do the spellers ever compose their own music? And we got a shout out for Trampoline. That's as the favorite song. That's a fantastic one.
Yeah. The answer is that it's mostly just giving me direction. I have a few folks that I work with who do play either piano or drums or guitar. But the heart of a lot of this stuff is like the challenge of motor control. A lot of the answers that the spellers have been giving have to do with apraxia, which is like a sort of challenge of having the brain be able to like make the muscles do what they want, and that's why it's difficult to make voice. There's so many things that have to align perfectly with your lungs and diaphragm and tongue and cheeks and everything to like produce spoken language, and that's where the hiccup happens, I think. And the same is true of like playing instruments. I think it's difficult for a lot of apraxic folks to just to have the like fine motor control on a guitar or piano or whatever. But definitely, we talk about like rhythms and we talk about like which syllables might be extended or which syllables in a line might be like high in the melody or low in the melody. So I'm trying to get, and this is an area of improvement for me too, trying to get more granular with like the way that the spellers are directing the music. So that's something for all of you guys to remember too in future sessions. But yeah, it's a mix for sure. Thanks for asking.
Awesome. Anna?
For the first question, Ethan back here said, therapists should educate themselves about whole body apraxia.
Great answer, Ethan. Thank you. Sorry I missed you before. Apraxia. What's apraxia? Who wants to answer to that one? Okay, I guess that's me. So it's basically the brain-body disconnect. I think there's some people who ever... Anna has the best explanation for it. Anna, what is apraxia?
Apraxia is basically like a disconnect between the brain. Oh, you have a microphone. I don't have to yell. It's a disconnect between the brain and the body. So it's like a sensory motor challenge that happens. Except maybe, oh, there we go. Where the brain wants to execute certain motor skills, and it actually doesn't always come out the way that the brain is trying to plan it.
Yeah, one example of that, there's a book called Edo in Autism Land, which is kind of like one of our introductions to spelling, and this boy helped his mom write this book when he was like 10 or 11 years old. He said his mom came up to him, gave him a bunch of flowers, and said, give this to your aunt, you know? And he knew exactly who his aunt was, he knew what he was supposed to do, and he just couldn't get his body to do that. So he ended up like walking the opposite direction, setting the flowers on a table, and just became really frustrated with himself. So it's just that brain-body disconnect, and they're all working through that, and spelling helps to kind of focus their body enough that they can just have that one little job to do, and it works out for even with significant apraxia. Any other questions?
For the spellers, I'm wondering which one is their favorite song that they've written and why. If they're
So for the spellers, and you guys have all written songs, which one is your favorite song that you've written and why?
Alton said, I love my song about trees.
Alton has about 28 songs about trees, so I'm not sure which one that is, but I like them all, Alton. All right, Ethan, do you have Ethan's working on spelling. I think Nico is. Anybody else?
I remember three others. There was a question that I think it didn't get answered. That was, how would you like to have your body touched?
Oh yeah, like the therapist, yeah. So they basically said, they want their therapist to relax, and then Ethan said to learn about the mind-body disconnect, basically. And I think, I think they can probably get more detail on that, like how, if you're working on a like sort of physical therapy type thing, how would you explain that?
I would say in response to that, very simply, I would like to have you touch my body as you would have your body touched.
Yeah, I think if there's a situation like that, it is that assumption of they're in control, right? So they get to do what they want with their bodies. We just have to help guide them there.
My son said, I think you need to ask us.
Yeah, so it's that, yeah, exactly. That's great.
I'll give Ethan's answer to the song.
Okay.
He said, my favorite is the song about my friends. They make the world a better place.
Awesome, Ethan.
Sorry.
Ashton?
Songs. We know that's his favorite. Other songs was his favorite. He said the one about Saturn V.
Oh, the Saturn V one. Yeah, that's a fun one.
Nico also only wrote one song, so that is in fact also his favorite, but he also asked about all the others, and he said he loves them all.
Yeah, tough to choose a favorite one, right, Nico? Choosing a favorite kid. All right, so any other spellers that I'm missing answers from? Okay. Any more questions that I'm missing? So Brian has the one tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's the compilation is out already, and that's available where all music is streamed. And then the one with the Band of Brothers is coming out, I think, tomorrow, like within the next day or two. By the time you think to go check it out, it'll be there.
I'll send you a link to the old one that Alton's on.
Yep, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, all this stuff.
We'll post it on Teva. It'll
Yeah,
all
great.
be
Thank
there.
you.
It'll be there.
Thanks for asking.
All right. Any other question?
I have a question for the parents here. And the question is, when your child can spell, how has it affected your relationship?
Great question.
I can answer. I would say that there's no aspect of my life that hasn't changed because of spelling. There's literally none, and it gave me a chance to get to know him. Yeah.
Sarah.
I'm sure I speak for all parents that it has completely changed our lives when you don't know what your kid wants. I mean, when they're a baby and they can't tell you, imagine that being for their entire lives and the frustration that comes along with that without being a communicate. Jake says communication is everything. I can't even explain how it's changed our lives for the better, and the reason we didn't know what was going to happen when Jake grew up. And once he started spelling, he could tell us, his friends could tell us, and they are telling us how to build Teva and how they want to live.
Yeah, I'll be a bad MC for a minute and answer with my own answer here, but yeah, it's almost like a continuum, right? So at first, when Alton started spelling, it was like simple things like, oh, he's not feeling well. He can tell us he's not feeling well, and we can do something about that. Or he wants this for lunch, and we can do something about that. And so I was like, oh, this is awesome, right? Like he can tell us his favorite color, he can tell us, if he wants to watch TV or take a shower or whatever, like very simple things. And then it just went on this like accelerated path essentially to now it's like, oh, okay, he's doing, exceptionally difficult math, like math beyond what I did in college, and he's writing poems. He's got a couple of books of poems out, and of course you guys saw the songwriting, and every speller that we know personally is doing stuff like that. Like it's not just a simple like, oh, they're not, they're like before he was spelling, Alton's doctors were like, oh yeah, he's probably on the level of like a 3-year-old, It's not just, oh, they're on a level of a 3-year-old, 5-year-old, 7-year-old. They can give us their basic needs, basic wants. It's like it's opened this whole world of possibilities. Still needing that assistance, right? And you still see, if you look at Alton, he needs help with a lot of stuff, daily care and all that. But knowing that the mind is fully intact, I think, is the biggest win of spelling. And even for new spellers who may be a little bit, just kind of working on the board and working up to getting out their real thoughts, knowing that we need to treat them as any other 13-year-old, 15-year-old, 17-year-old, because they know and they're thinking just as much as any 13, 15, 17, 19-year-old. Some of these spellers who've introduced to spelling at a later age, you can imagine how those parents must feel, that little bit of guilt or a lot of guilt that comes along with it, but better late than never for sure.
I'll just say it is life-changing. Before Ethan started spelling, he was in a school that told me he would stay until 22 and then basically go to an adult daycare. And that was what our future looked like. But after spelling, he's now, able to tell me that he wants to go to college. And instead of doing life skills at school, he's doing a gen ed curriculum. And he fully intends to help him achieve his dream of going to college. And that was not possible before spelling.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I think it's not just us here, right? Like you've got the local Phil here, but there's an article that went national like about a month ago of a speller who got into MIT, right? So this speller had been his whole life been told he didn't know anything, couldn't do anything, and then he started spelling, and he's now a freshman at MIT studying nuclear physics or something like that. It's really crazy. Any other? Oh, Ashton.
Yeah, the relationship has become so much more of a two-way street now. There's someone, he always had the thoughts, but now they're communicated. There's a voice, and I'd say it's really been discovery. Just every day there's a new discovery of something that he thought, or a preference that he had, or even political leanings, which we won't discuss here. And for example, we've recently discovered that he's bilingual with Spanish.
That's amazing.
We did
that
not
is awesome.
know that. My wife and I we're both bilingual, but we don't speak to him in Spanish. So how did this happen? He's just so incredibly smart.
That is impressive, Ashton. That is awesome. We got another question over here. You wait for the mic. You're far away.
I was Tucson's first poet laureate, and I'm very interested in working with these people and how would I go about doing that, being introduced and so on.
Yeah, so we've got the Tucson Spellers that's here, and Courtney is raising her hand in the back. They have, just connect with her, and that is awesome, because the poetry is a huge part of everyone, every speller who's here, a huge part of their lives.
And thank you so much for this program. It was endlessly enlightening.
Thank you everyone for coming. Any other questions before we close out? And thank you, Brian, for coming down from Moab, Utah, once again. This is going to be a quick picture of everyone.
All right, everybody, 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, thank you so much. This program is 10 times more incredible than I even thought it was going to be. So thank you, everybody, for coming out. Did you want to say anything, Brian?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just one more big thanks and round of applause for the spellers, please. These guys are the best. And I know that this is a message that every single speller would want me to share at this point. What a good lesson to not judge books by their covers when you're meeting new people. So please, when you're meeting new people, just presume competence, treat them like adults, treat them like smart, wise individuals who are tracking everything that you're saying, because they are, and they deserve that respect. That's how it all begins, and in some ways that's how it all ends. That's the be-all, end-all of the whole thing, just being kind to one another. How about that? So please, feel free to stick around, check out the literature in the back. If you have questions about Teva, ask the folks about that. Tucson Spellers, obviously, if you have compliments or questions for any of the songwriters who shared their work here today, feel free to ask them. And above all, just thank you so much for being here. Thanks for spending some time with us. And be well. Thank you.